Well, if anybody knows this team, you do, buddy.
Let's hope I'm right on that one.
We all hope you're right on that one.
Kawhi Leonard struggled tonight. It's okay. He gets the win. We know enough about what he is about. But that's the most important thing. 12 points, 11 rebounds, and he is standing with our very own Jamie Maggio.
Brian, thank you so much. Kawhi, your first time tonight playing against your former team, the reigning world champions. Were there any emotions out there for you facing these guys?
Oh, yeah, definitely. We had a long run last year. I got to know the guys, inside and out, on and off the court. We had fun. It was fun to compete against them tonight.
Obviously, you're very familiar with that Raptors squad. When there's 2 minutes left in the game and it's just a 6-point Clippers lead, what were you telling your teammates about how to finish this out?
Just the same thing. Just let's communicate on the defensive end, contest shots, get rebounds, and let's get out in transition.
You saw a lot of double coverage throughout this game tonight, but then you've got guys like Lou, Trez, JaMychal, Patrick Patterson stepping up and helping carry the offense. How good is it to know that you can lean on those guys?
It feels great, That's what a championship team is about. When your star is not going or they double teaming you, then you got other guys knocking down big shots like they did tonight.
Well, congrats on the win. Thank you for your time, Kawhi.
Yeah, thank you.
Staples Center, Kawhi Leonard.
It was a grind. And Kawhi Leonard, who was just 2 of 11 for the night, an assist away from a triple-double as his new team beats his old team and holds the Raptors to just 10 fourth-quarter points. Pretty good intensity, certainly not an offensive showing that will be sent to the Hall of Fame. No. But, if you project ahead, you add in Paul George, Kyle Lowry, Serge Ibaka, you could do worse than these teams in June for 7 games.
Yeah, and this was a showcase game for the quality of depth that the Clippers, bring not only to this season, but that they've had the past couple of years. To have bench output and performance and energy the way they do is remarkable. And then you think about the superstars on the top end of that roster can take a night like this and not be at their best, and you still win games against quality opponents. That's a testament to the Clippers as an organization and to Doc Rivers and just how they've built that culture there.
We talked about it going back to the summertime, certainly in the preseason when they assembled this roster in Los Angeles, that when you bring in defensive players like Kawhi Leonard and like Paul George added in to the other good defenders on that team, regardless of what the offensive chemistry looked like for the entirety of the regular season, they were going to be able to win games like these.
Yeah, they're built to win this type of game. He talked about Kawhi Leonard being an assist away from triple-double. He was a turnover away from a quadruple-double.
Yeah.
He had a lot of stuff going on. They double-teamed him all over the court, and it really bothered him. He had a lot of turnovers and stuff, but didn't let him get his offense going. But, as you said, Matt, they're built for this. They're built for the grind. Montrezl Harrell can grind. Kawhi Leonard can grind. Pat Beverly only knows one way, that is to grind. JaMychal Green. These guys will go out there and just grind it up. And you have to have that, because especially in the playoffs, I've seen so many different playoff series won, 4-3, and somebody's got to win a game like this or two games like this inside that series. Just ugly games.
Yeah, and it's not just the names or recognize. I always look at those Clippers games to see what kind of minutes does a guy like Mo Harkless get, who was an integral part in Portland for years, really, underappreciated. People didn't really make a big deal about his contributions there, but now you look at that Portland team without he and Al-Farouq Amino, and then you see the impact that Harkless is having for the Clippers. Sometimes you got to have those blue-collar players on your roster that are going to go out there, and he went and played 33 minutes tonight, on a night when your big gun doesn't have it. You got another 6'8" guy, with the length and athleticism and energy to get the job done on defense, at least, even if Kawhi's not at his best on that side of it.
And he was plus 14, best on the team if you're into the plus minus.
And the bench scores 56 points. That's just huge. They come out. But let's give Toronto some love here. Just the fact that they can scrap it out too now. They don't have there are a lot of guys injured right now. Kyle Lowry, you mentioned him, Matt Ibaka, but they'll grind too. They're a tough team. They're better than I thought they were. I thought that when they lost Kawhi, they were going to lose so much of their identity. But they're going to find a way to grind teams out. And it'll be. I wouldn't be surprised if they get they're one of those 45 win teams. And if you look at it, they make the playoffs. I don't know how far they can go. But if you look at winning the championship, losing Kawhi, and being as good competitive as they are right now, it's impressive.
Also didn't have OG Anunoby for most of this game after he was hit by his former teammate Kawhi Leonard early on. He wound up only playing under 2 minutes. Highlights from around the league coming up next, including the Beard playing the Big Easy and climbing the boards in terms of all-time scoring through 10 games. We'll explain next.
Getting you set for the Raptors and Clippers here on NBA TV. Just not too far from now, a couple of moments away. Here's what the Raptors did last year in the 22 games that Kawhi didn't play. And here's what they've done in the 9 games that Kawhi hasn't played for him this year, Kevin McHale.
Are they expecting him back this year?
No, they're not. They're going to have to face him
Is he
tonight.
load management? Because I feel a lot better about load management. It's a whole new thing. I understand it a lot better.
Clarity.
Well,
clarity.
No load management tonight for Kawhi as he talks about facing his former squad, which he won a championship with last year.
I mean, it's a former team that I won a championship with, but I mean, it's any other game. It's gonna be, fun to see the guys again, and just congratulate them, and be able to shake hands and compete.
Have you been staying in touch with any of them at all?
Yeah, a few of them. We talk a little bit.
Kawhi, outside of the championship, what will you remember about your year in Toronto?
The guys, the journey. You know what I mean. Also the country. The city, it was amazing, and it's just so much you could keep going on and talking about it.
The year that we had was incredible, and Danny is definitely the guy that I can say is a fan of mine. So it's definitely good to see him.
Looking forward to another reunion tomorrow.
Oh man, yeah, it was another game, tough game, against Kawhi, and seeing the guys over there. So we don't get no break, so just gotta go out there and play hard again and try to get another win.
What will it be like playing against Kawhi?
Oh, but great for us. I don't think I've had the opportunity to play against him. I had the privilege to play with him on the same team, but I think playing against him would be fun and just I think just seeing those guys, seeing him again after the run that we had last year, super fun.
What did you take away from being his teammate last year?
I think a lot. I mean, I think his poise and how he doesn't really get rattled and things like that. So I try to do that and add that to my game. And when I miss a couple of shots, you got guys like Freddie in my ear a little bit, telling me to continue to shoot and just stay confident. And I think that's something that he had. He always had that.
It's going to be great. It was great to see Danny tonight. It's going to be great to see Kawhi. I mean, Josh, you go through something like that in a really close kind of confined. You're all kind of sealed in together, fighting that out for a couple months. So you get special experience there. And in saying that, I'm going to stay up late tonight trying to devise some kind of scheme to try to make life very difficult on him tomorrow.
Well, hopefully Nick Nurse, for his sake and his fan base's sake, came up with something. They've got to be creative tonight. You'll see it live at NBA TV a couple of moments from now. Raptors against the Clippers. Kawhi, 4th in the league in points, 5th in the league in steals, and is the NBA leader in fourth quarter points.
Yeah, he's had some great fourth quarters for the Clippers so far. And they're 6-1 with games he's played. They're 0-2 in the 2 games he hasn't played. So, I mean, I like what they have going on in LA with Kawhi. Paul George hasn't played yet at all. Right. So a big part of their team isn't even there. So, the future is really looking good there. And, Toronto, I'll give those guys credit. If you'd have told me that they would be able to, what are they, 7-2 right now? I would have said no way. I thought they'd have they just missed Kawhi too much. But they're battling. They're battling. Give Nick Nurse and that coaching staff a lot of credit.
Well, let's Sekou go into what the Raptors did last night, getting 24 points from Pascal Siakam, and some key bench guys truly stepped up. Guys like Chris Boucher had really good games when they're playing without Lowry and without Serge Ibaka.
Yeah, it speaks to the player development component that they've had for a while now in Toronto. You think about Siakam's development, Fred VanVleet, undrafted. I mean, they've just found a way, time and again to identify guys who could come in and help them and then groom them for roles that they've stepped into and certainly taken to another level. Siakam's been great early this season. We saw the breakout performance from him in the finals last year. You weren't sure is this something that's going to go on and continue, but he's given us every indication that what we saw then is just the start for what could be an all-star season for him, obviously, this year.
Do you think there's going to be some ramped-up talk about Siakam being the first player in NBA history to win Most Improved Player in back-to-back years?
I don't know. I mean, Jamal Crawford and Lou Williams were fighting to see who was going to get the six-man trophy named after him. Why not? Why not go after it? It's a good idea for Siakam. But listen, he's on an all-star track right now, which is, to me, remarkable when you consider where he was a few years ago, where he was, he's a bit player who flashed. Yeah. Some instances where you thought, wow, this guy could be something if he keeps developing, but he's really rounded his game out.
And you very seldom see a guy go from kind of where he was when he started. That big jump, I thought that jump was all he was capable of making. He made another jump this year. That was like, wow, that's impressive. Kid must be a really hard worker, and he's gifted.
2 years ago, Siakam averaging just 7 points a game. Now averaging 27.5 points per game for the Raptors, who will play the Clippers live on NBA